How much time did Mr. Schultz say he needed to wrap up things with his other client?
About 10 minutes.
What you thinking about?
My mind wandered to that first summer after I graduated college.
I remember you brought me lunch at work every day. We had picnics in the parking lot until your school year started in August. You brought me roses every week until the other secretaries got jealous.
That was a fun summer. Going to flea markets and consignment shops, trying to furnish my new place.
And baseball games. You got tickets for every game the Yankees came to town just so I could see Roger Clemens pitch. You really have done crazy stuff to make me happy.
You know my motto, I would do anything for love.
But I won't buy pads. I never understood that. But I made sure to stockpile them. You wouldn't even walk down the aisle of the grocery store.
I told you, puberty was not nice to me. In middle school, I looked like a lesbian. Locker rooms are a cruel place when you don't match social norms. Emotional scars like that don't heal easily, and they cause me to overcompensate a little.
All I can say is you are a man of your word. You've done everything else for love, like getting up at 5:30 every year, getting up at 5:30 a.m. every year and waiting outside the ticket office with me for 3 hours before they open.
Not sure who thought it was a good idea to put all the tickets for that venue on sale the same day. I'm just glad you listened to me the year that the radio station had the remote.
Randomly buying tickets to Les Miserables was one of the best decisions we ever made.
Still wish they would have stopped singing and talked for a while so I could understand what was going on.
Don't make me slap you again over that.
Like the time you slapped me for getting tickets for the community bus trip to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay, I admit that was a fun trip. But I still think the transport looked like a prison bus.
Sometimes you need to say, screw it, and take a risk.
Even I have to admit that the cave tour we did was fun. You saw the sign and you said, let's go spelunking.
Much more fun than driving an hour to see a giant basket.
Hey, I collected those baskets and making one was fun. You dragged me. You're the one who dragged me to that creepy prison.
It's where they filmed the Shawshank Redemption. I used that picture of me with the Morgan Freeman cutout as my profile pic for years.
I remember having to explain to my mother why I wasn't with you in the profile picture.
Someone had to take the picture? And I didn't hear you complain when we ran the gauntlet of free samples at Grandpa's Cheese Barn.
That was a lot of cheese.
Of course, I also found romantic stuff that we both enjoyed. The trolley ride around Cleveland.
Marietta.
Carriage rides around Amish country.
Fall foliage, train ride.
And of course, the boat rides.
Found so many of them. Cuyahoga River tour, sunset dinner cruise on Lake Erie, island hopping tour, paddleboard tour, even a canal boat.
I knew how much your job stressed you out. You were never as relaxed as you were on a boat somewhere, taking roll after roll of pictures. Swear, you took the same pic every time we went down the Cuyahoga River.
The digital camera you got me was a wise investment.
You're telling me every sunset you burned through 3 disposable cameras.
I like sunsets.
And every shot was a work of art. I still have the sunset shot over Niagara Falls on my desk.
That was such a fun trip for our 10-year anniversary. You got all my poems bound in a hardcover leather book.
Technically, it was pleather.
Okay.
I had to do something to make up for our 5-year anniversary.
You tried your best to make the day special. It wasn't your fault that the limo you rented was gray with a dent in the fender.
I'm still pissed about that. I specifically ordered anything but the gray one. And then we got to dinner.
And you just sit at the table with our former math teacher. The murder mystery was good.
The food, not so much.
Well, no. The sapphire ring you gave me. Beautiful. Of course, jewelry shops should stop selling to you.
It's not my fault that every time I put something on layaway, they go out of business, and I get a huge discount.
And I still have the promise ring you gave me for our first anniversary.
Of course, I couldn't give it to you till 2 weeks later.
I didn't mind. We are proof that long-distance relationships do work.
What long distance? We lived in the same city.
Yeah, but we both lived at home. Neither of us had a car in college.
At least we got one date a month in the mall when you got your hair appointment.
We also had our phone dates.
Both of our families had to get call waiting because we tie up the phone lines at night.
You came up with the idea of watching the same movie together. I would start mine, and then you would sync your copy to mine so there wasn't a delay over the phone.
You came up with the idea of each of us setting up a board game on our site so we could play together.
I still question some of your lucky rolls back then.
The luckiest roll I ever had in the game of life is when I landed on the spot that meant I got to marry you.
Still a romantic cornball after all these years.
I still got it. I misplace it once in a while, but I still got it. Do you have any regrets?
I should have gotten you tickets to the Run DMC.
I know how frustrated you were the first time we went to Blossom. Traffic getting there was horrible. Security for the pavilion was annoying. Don't get me started on having to dodge the drunk pedestrians on their way out. You had no idea that would be the last time the three of them would tour.
Still, you showed me how much you loved me with every kind gesture, every meal you cooked me, and everywhere you drove me. I should have done more for you. Do you regret any of it?
I made sure I didn't have any regrets. I don't think I ever said no to something you wanted. When you asked for the laser engraved bat on opening day, I didn't even ask how much. Craft shows, flea market stores, I was there carrying the bags, sitting in the man chairs. Any concert you wanted to go to, I got tickets even if I had no clue who they were seeing. There is one thing that I regret.
I'm afraid to ask.
Visit. When I bought you the backstage pass to meet Michael W. Smith, I should have put a note on the photo that said, "If you've made my wife speechless, please sign the autograph to Stacy."
You had to write, "To you, love Michael."
He's just lucky I'm not a jealous man.
You got nothing to worry about. He has been happily married and faithful since 1981.
I love you.
I love you too.
If you follow me, I can help you now. What can I do for you today?
I need to make arrangements for my wife's funeral.
I'm sorry for your loss. How long were the two of you together?
Last month we had our 25th anniversary. Spent it watching The Princess Bride, waiting for the phone call from the doctor to tell us the bone marrow transplant had failed.
I promise to do anything I can do to help you through this process. In addition to family and work history, is there anything else you want me to include in the obituary?
Oh, let's see. She was Roger Clemens' biggest fan. She saw Michael W. Smith in concert 25 times, gave him a rose several times. Got to throw out the first pitch in an Akron Arrows game and sit in the dugout with C.C. Sabathia during a rain delay. Oh, and once she got to ride on the Goodyear blimp with her grandfather.
Sounds like she had a lifetime full of adventures. Do you have a location selected?
We went to the cemetery together a few months back, found a spot overlooking a pond that has an amazing view of the sunset.
You mentioned roses. I have a casket with a pink rose on top.
Any chance you could make it royal blue? The rose royal blue. Can you make the rose royal blue?
No, but you can have a special order, a royal blue satin interior.
I think she'd like
And do you have that dress with you?
that. Are you kidding me? If I brought a dress, she would haunt me for the rest of my life. I brought some jeans and her favorite Clemens jersey.
With someone as young as she was, we recommend evening calling hours, followed by a funeral mass the next day.
Whatever you think is right. I'm not up to many more decisions today.
Don't worry. I will take care of everything. You just make sure to take care of yourself.
Thank you. She was the decision maker in the family. Before I forget, can you make sure they play Friends at the funeral? It was her favorite song.
I'll make a note of that. Now, if you follow me, we can look at grave markers.